Do you have an indoor rabbit? Then there's one mistake you might be making right now that is slowly destroying their trust in you. This isn't about toys or treats. It's about the environment you've created and what it's doing to their body and mind. Most owners get this wrong, and by the time they realize it, the damage is already done. 1. Roaming where they shouldn't. Would you let a toddler crawl around a room filled with wires, sharp corners, and toxic plants? Because that's exactly what many rabbit owners do, without even realizing it. Just because your rabbit is indoors doesn't mean they're safe. In fact, some of the most dangerous rabbit injuries happen inside the home. Chewed power cords, splintered baseboards, plastic ingestion, or poisonous houseplants like lilies or pothos. The worst part? Rabbits hide pain very well, so they could be hurting for hours or days before you even notice something's wrong. And here's what most owners forget. Rabbits chew not because they're bad, but because that's how they explore the world. That table leg or laptop cable. To them, it's just another branch in the wild. So before giving them free roam, do a full safety sweep. Cover cords, block access to walls, and remove any questionable plants or objects. You're not being overprotective. You're creating a safe territory they can trust. If you don't, your rabbit won't just get hurt. They'll associate freedom with fear. And once that bond is broken, it's hard to earn back. 2. Painful floors. Ever notice your rabbit avoiding certain rooms or slipping when they try to run? That's not random. It's because your flooring might be hurting them more than you think. Rabbits are built for soft terrain, dirt, grass, burrows. But indoors? They're often forced to navigate smooth hardwood, tile, or laminate. Surfaces that offer zero grip and put constant pressure on their joints. Over time, this causes stress to their hocks, those back heels you rarely notice, leading to sore hock, pain, and even open wounds that are hard to treat. And the worst part? They won't cry or limp like a dog would. Instead, they'll quietly change their behavior, avoiding movement, staying in one spot, or seeming lazy. But it's not laziness, it's pain. Now, here's where most owners get it wrong. They give their rabbit more space, thinking it's helping, but never realize they're just giving them more area to suffer on. The fix? Create soft, padded zones they actually want to be in. Rugs, fleece, and textured mats can literally change how your rabbit moves, plays, and even how safe they feel. And there's one texture in particular, one surface rabbits naturally gravitate to for comfort and calm. We'll get to that soon. 3. Bad cage placement. Where does your rabbit actually live? And is it helping them feel safe or stressed? Because the spot you choose for their cage or pen can literally shape their personality. Too many owners stick the rabbit in a laundry room, garage, or some lonely corner out of the way. It might seem practical, quieter, less foot traffic, but to a rabbit, it feels like exile. Rabbits are social, territorial animals. They need to feel like part of the home, not like a forgotten accessory. If their space is too loud, too isolated, too exposed, or right under air vents or blaring TVs, they'll develop anxiety. You'll notice them hiding more, flinching at sounds, or becoming withdrawn and hard to bond with. Here's what you want instead. Somewhere calm, but not isolated. A place with visibility, where they can observe but escape if they want. Think a corner of the living room, away from the main walking path, but not cut off from life. When they feel included, rabbits become curious, affectionate, and confident. When they don't, they shut down. And hey, before we move to the next one, make sure to hit like and subscribe so we can get this video to more people who love their rabbits as much as you do. 4. Dirty bathroom zone. Would you eat or sleep next to a filthy bathroom? Neither would your rabbit. And yet, that's exactly what happens when their litter box is left too long. Rabbits are obsessively clean animals. In the wild, they choose specific corners of their burrow to eliminate in, and avoid those areas for everything else. So when their indoor litter area gets ignored or starts to smell, it's more than just gross. It's a stress trigger, and the consequences go beyond hygiene. A dirty litter box can cause them to stop using it altogether, leading to accidents around the house, breakdowns in trust, and even dangerous health issues like fly strike in warmer months. Worse, rabbits often have no choice but to sit or lay near that box, especially in smaller pens or enclosures. That's like forcing someone to live in a porta potty. Here's the fix. Scoop it daily, full clean weekly. Use unscented rabbit-safe litter and never scented sprays or harsh chemicals around it. A clean bathroom isn't just about smell, it's about respect, and your rabbit knows the difference. 5. Mental starvation. Does your rabbit ever just sit there doing nothing for hours? That's not relaxation. That could be boredom, and boredom is dangerous. In the wild, rabbits spend most of their time exploring, digging, foraging, and scanning for threats. Their minds are wired for stimulation. But indoors, without proper enrichment, that instinct has nowhere to go, and it turns into stress, aggression, or destruction. You'll see it in small ways: gnawing on baseboards, tearing at cage bars, obsessively rearranging bedding, or suddenly becoming more skittish or territorial. Mental starvation doesn't scream. It builds quietly, and one day you realize your rabbit isn't curious anymore. They've gone numb. But here's the good news. Enrichment doesn't mean fancy toys. It means variety: cardboard tunnels, hidden treats, rearranged spaces, a dig box filled with shredded paper. Even something as simple as a new scent or sound can reset their brain. Your rabbit doesn't need more stuff. They need more purpose. 6. No digging outlet. What happens when a rabbit can't dig, ever? They find something else to destroy. Digging isn't optional for rabbits, it's primal. It's how they build homes, hide from predators, and burn energy. When they're kept indoors with zero digging outlet, that instinct gets rerouted, usually into your carpet, couch, or even their own fur. Many owners mistake it for bad behavior, but it's not bad. It's blocked, and that frustration can turn into anxiety, aggression, or obsessive chewing. The solution? Give them a legal place to dig. A shallow box filled with shredded paper, hay, untreated soil, or old towels. Rotate materials. Make it a game. Not only does this satisfy their natural urges, it actually prevents destructive behavior elsewhere. A rabbit that can dig is a rabbit that feels like a rabbit. And when they feel that freedom, they start to trust you more. But even if you've nailed enrichment, there's one invisible stressor you might be spreading through your house every single day. 7. Using scented cleaners. What if your home smells fresh to you, but feels toxic to your rabbit? Because that lemony fresh spray you love might be flooding their world with stress. Rabbits have an insanely strong sense of smell, far more sensitive than ours. Scents you barely notice can overwhelm them. And common cleaning products? Many contain chemicals, perfumes, or essential oils that are irritating, even harmful, to small animals. Even if they're labeled green or natural, that doesn't mean rabbit safe. Some oils like tea tree or eucalyptus can actually be toxic. But the deeper issue is psychological. Rabbits rely on scent for comfort. Their space smells like them. When you scrub it all away with fragrance, it's like erasing their identity and replacing it with something foreign and sharp. It's disorienting. It makes them feel like they don't belong in their own home. So instead of masking smells, focus on keeping things genuinely clean. Use vinegar, water, or rabbit-safe cleaners. Rinse well. Let fresh air do the rest. Because when their space smells right, your rabbit can relax. And that's something no air freshener can buy. 8. Forcing affection. Ever tried to pick up your rabbit and they instantly bolt or freeze? That's not moodiness, that's fear. And it gets worse every time you force it. Rabbits are prey animals. In their world, being grabbed or restrained feels like an attack, even if it's coming from love. So every time you scoop them up because you just want to cuddle, they're silently registering danger. And over time, they start avoiding you altogether. Here's the hard truth. Affection on your terms breaks trust. Affection on their terms builds it. The best thing you can do is wait. Sit on the floor. Let them come to you. Offer a hand. Let them sniff. Hop away, come back. Let them choose the connection. When they lean in, chin you, or flop next to you, that's real trust, not fear dressed up as stillness. And when you finally feel that moment, when they choose you, it's 1,000 times more meaningful than anything you could have forced. But here's the thing. Even rabbits that seem quiet, calm, and low maintenance may be hiding something. And if you misread it, the damage can run deeper than you think. 9. Mistaking silence for peace. Your rabbit seems calm, quiet, still, but is that peace or is it shutdown? Because silence in rabbits isn't always a sign of contentment. Sometimes it's a survival strategy. In the wild, showing weakness gets you killed. So rabbits hide fear, they hide pain. They freeze when they're overwhelmed, not because they feel safe, but because it's the only thing they can do. And indoors, That same freeze response is easy to misread. You might think, she loves being held, she never fights it. But in reality, she's gone still because she's terrified, and struggling feels worse. You might think, he's so chill, just lays in one spot all day. But what if he's not relaxed, just bored, sore, or emotionally numb? The scariest thing about rabbits is how quiet their suffering is. They won't bark, whine, or complain. They just stop. That's why every behavior matters. Every preference, every flinch, every change in posture is a message. And if you watch this far, it means you're the kind of person who wants to understand those messages before it's too late, because no one knows your rabbit better than you. And now, you know what signs not to ignore.